Now Futurecast.
I'm just going to say, Brian Iacono, he dominated that Rhode Show Rewind. Nice to see him on there. All right, let's now move on to a more serious topic. A winter storm continues to move into southern New England. We're actually going to get a nice break in the snow here for the next couple hours. Already on the ground, Taunton at 3.1. That's the largest I could find. New Bedford at about an inch overnight. On live Pinpoint Doppler 12, you will notice there is not a lot going on, and we keep up that trend for most of this morning and most of the afternoon. Here's what I mean. Notice as we head towards 1 p.m., there is a strip of snow from time to time, but in terms of accumulation, not going to add that much up this afternoon. 5 p.m., here's where things get interesting because between 5 and 8, notice how that line of blue sags down from the north, so it does start to snow again, first in northern Rhode Island and then spreading down to places like Jamestown, Newport, and Westerly overnight. And then it just continues through much of your Monday, not coming down really hard the entire time, but there'll be some bursts in there, moderate, steady snow. This is 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, represented by the blue, and then it continues into tomorrow evening. This is 8 p.m. And even late tomorrow night into early Tuesday morning, some lingering bands of snow before it finally all starts to pull away. Now, in terms of sleet or rain, we could see a little bit of that at the coast at times, but even at the coast, we'll get a decent amount of snow as well, just not quite as much as inland spots. Here's the view from Narragansett this morning, kind of pretty with the waves and the snow out there. Smithfield at 27, Providence 29 degrees, 29 in Newport, 34 on Block Island. We keep it in the 20s for the most part today. We'll talk about that coming up shortly. And this is a really crazy looking satellite picture because it almost looks like the storm is done. There goes the blue pushing to the east. However, this is an interesting storm because right now we're kind of sitting in the storm track, but we also need a piece of energy to act kind of like a car on the track. That is now sitting out in the Great Lakes, or just south of the Great Lakes, I should say. That races through this evening, and that will fire up additional rounds of snow. So we break down the temperatures like this. I'll put up those snow accumulations in just a second. And what you're going to notice is the temperatures staying in the 20s for inland spots. But look what happens as we look down towards the coast. This is a sign that that mild tongue of air trying to punch through. It never really makes it all the way through, but you can see by tomorrow morning, Providence right around freezing, New Bedford, Newport, 34 to 35 degrees, where a little bit of freezing rain or sleet is possible. But again, I think the snow wins out for the most part. We're going to have to watch the freezing rain situation as well, because even though air temperatures could be just above freezing, those surfaces could still be colder than freezing, and that's when we can really see some slick surfaces. But quite a temperature gradient setting up tomorrow, and often when you see these big changes in temperatures across a short distance, you also can get some heavy bands of snow. They like that to act as fuel to produce those big flakes. So here's what we're talking about. 7 to 10 inches for places like Warwick, East Greenwich, over into Barrington, 10 to 15 for northern Rhode Island. Could see 15 to 24. Extreme northern Rhode Island towards the Mass Pike in Boston, 4 to 7 at the coast. Here's what I'm thinking for the capital city, around 7 to 11 by the time we get to tomorrow night, and it kind of acts like a step ladder. Not a lot in terms of accumulation today, but by 7 p.m. tonight, 2 to 5 inches on the ground, 5 to 8 inches on the ground by tomorrow morning, 7 to 11 by tomorrow evening. For northern Rhode Island and northern Bristol County, Massachusetts, I've chosen New Cumberland as the representative. Here's your forecast. Same pattern, but notice by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, 7 to 10 on the ground, 10 to 15 by tomorrow evening. So definitely northern Rhode Island, northern Bristol County, the jackpot from this storm, especially heavy amounts in Boston where they simply do not need it. And then we don't get a whole lot of melting, unfortunately. A little snow is possible Thursday, and then Friday, extremely cold, negative numbers during the morning. You can always get an updated blog over on WPRI.com.
Now, Eyewitness Sports with Mark Dondero.